So, picture this. I'm jolted awake one morning by this god-awful banging outside, like someone's trying to nail my house to the ground. I stumble to the window, still half asleep, and there it is, a tacky for sale sign stabbed into my front lawn, my address screaming in bright red letters. My first thought? This has got to be a prank, right? I mean, who in their right mind tries to sell a guy's house without so much as a phone call? But then I see her, Linda, the HOA president, standing there with her clipboard like she's Napoleon plotting a land grab, her smug grin practically glowing in the morning sun. My stomach twists, not out of fear I've got my bases covered legally. Thank you very much, but because the sheer nerve of this woman hits me like a slap. Linda's not just power tripping, she's mainlining it. I throw on my slippers, storm outside, the chilly air nipping at my arms, and I'm trying to keep it cool, like I'm talking to a kid about to stick a fork in a socket. Linda, I say, voice steady, you want to explain why my house is suddenly on Realtor.com? She adjusts her oversized sunglasses, the kind people wear when they think they're starring in their own reality show, and goes, "Oh, don't make a scene, Jake. The HOA board voted last night. Your yard's a mess, your shutters are the wrong shade of taupe, and let's be real, you don't exactly vibe with our community's aesthetic. Aesthetic." She says it like my existence is a personal offense to her Pinterest board. Then she drops the bomb. We've arranged a sale. The buyer's already interested. I laugh not because it's funny, but because it's so unhinged it almost deserves a standing ovation. Arranged a sale? Linda, this isn't a yard sale lamp you're flipping. It's my house. She smirks, like she's got me cornered. Actually, Jake, I can. Your unpaid fines triggered a lien, and a lien means foreclosure. Foreclosure means we sell. Simple as that. Now, most people would lose it right there, start yelling, maybe call the cops. But I've dealt with Linda long enough to know her game. She's all bark, backed by a stack of paperwork she thinks makes her untouchable. So I lean in, real calm, and say, Linda, you just stepped from annoying to straight up illegal. I hope your buyer's ready for a lawsuit. Her eyes flicker, but she doubles down. The deposit's already down, Jake. By next week, you're out. That's when it hits me, not panic, but this cold, clear calm, like a chess player watching their opponent march into a trap. Linda thinks she's checkmated me, but she's just moved her queen into the open, and I've got every piece ready to strike. I don't argue. I just smile, turn, and walk back inside. She yells after me, "Don't bother unpacking." I shut the door in her face. Back in my kitchen, I pour a coffee, open my laptop, and get to work. See, I don't panics for suckers. It clouds your head, and a clear head's the only weapon you need when someone's trying to dismantle your life. Linda's not just any someone. She's the queen of overreach, the kind of woman who measures her worth in how many people she can boss around. So I pull up the HOA bylaws. Yeah, I'm that guy who actually read the fine print when I moved in. Highlighted, bookmarked, the works. And there it is in black and white. A lien's possible for unpaid fines, sure, but foreclosure? That needs a court order, a judge, a sheriff's sale, not Linda with her folding table and a fountain pen. What she's doing isn't just overstepping. It's fraud, plain and simple. Wire fraud, real estate fraud, you name it. I sip my coffee and grin. This isn't just a fight. It's a setup for her downfall. I email my buddy Nate, a lawyer who eats HOAs for breakfast. He's the guy you call when you want to dismantle a board that thinks it's the federal government. His replies back in 10 minutes. Tell me everything. Don't move till I say so. Perfect. With Nate in my corner, I shift gears. Linda wants to play real estate mogul with my house. Fine. I'm going to flip the board and go after hers. Her place is this gaudy McMansion at the end of the cul-de-sac. Think Roman columns that don't hold anything up, a lawn so green it looks like it's been photoshopped, and a 3-tiered fountain that screams, "I'm better than you." It's her pride and joy, her whole identity wrapped up in that tacky palace. If I can dent that, she's done. So I start digging. A few calls to real estate agents, a chat with a county clerk I met at a town hall, and a lead from a friend of a friend lands me on Tom, a goat farmer from a town over. Tom's been itching to expand his herd, but rural zoning boards keep shutting him down. His dream? A big suburban lot where he can let his goats roam free, right under the noses of uptight neighbors. I don't spill the whole plan, just tell him there's a property that might work. I send him pics of Linda's lawn, her sprawling backyard, perfect for a herd of 30 goats. He's practically shouting through the phone. That's the one. Line it up and I'm in. This isn't just revenge, it's poetry. Linda's obsessed with her perfect little kingdom, and I'm about to turn it into a petting zoo. Over the next week, Linda ramps up her attack. She's got flyers circulating, claiming a new family is moving into my house. She even leads this guy, Mr. Thompson, her so-called buyer, through my living room, pointing out my hardwood floors like she laid them herself. I let it slide, recording every move with my phone and a hidden camera. The footage is gold. Linda strutting like she owns the place. Thompson looking nervous, like he knows something's off. I catch him alone one day by his car and say, real quiet. She hasn't shown you a court order, has she? No foreclosure docket, no sheriff's approval. He stammers, it's in process. I nod. Mr. Thompson, if you keep going, you're not just getting scammed, you're part of the scam. Ask for the paperwork. If she can't show it, walk. His face goes pale, and I know I've got him spooked. Meanwhile, I'm working with Tom. Linda's drowning in debt, property taxes, maxed out credit cards, the works. When my realtor pal slides her Tom's offer cash heavy, quick close, she bites without even asking who the buyer is. That's her fatal mistake. She's so desperate to keep her facade that she signs the preliminary papers blind. The trap's set. All I've got to do is spring it. The showdown comes at the HOA meeting. The room's packed, neighbors, board members, even Thompson, looking like he hasn't slept in days. Linda's at the head of the table, gavel in hand, acting like she's about to crown herself. Good evening, everyone, she says, all syrupy. Tonight, we celebrate the transition of 312 Oakwood Lane to a new family, a step forward for our community's standards. A few people clap, but most look confused. That's when Nate stands up, manila folder in hand, cool as ice. Pardon the interruption, he says, but I've got evidence of fraud, misrepresentation, and abuse of power by your president. The room goes dead silent. He slides the folder across the table. Cease and desist, flyers, video of Linda's unauthorized walkthroughs, witness statements. Linda's face cracks. This is outrageous. He's lying. Nate just smiles. Then explain the deposit you took from Mr. Thompson for a house you don't own. Or why you sold your own house last week. To my client, Tom. Tom stands up, waves, and says, evening, folks. I'm moving into 305 Oakwood next month. With my goats. The room erupts, gasps, laughs, a few cheers. Linda's frozen, her gavel dangling like a toy. She's done, and she knows it. The fallout's instant. By morning, neighbors have littered Linda's lawn with plastic goat figurines grazing, climbing, one with a tiny crown. It's petty, but it's perfect. The board votes her out as president before lunch. Tom's goats move in by the end of the week, munching her hydrangeas, climbing her fountain, leaving little gifts on her perfect grass. The neighborhood loves it. Kids pet the goats, adults laugh. Even the grumpy old guy down the street says they're better than Linda. A local news crew does a segment. From HOA tyrant to Goat Haven. Linda's gone, renting a dingy apartment 2 towns over, her reputation in shreds. But Linda's not the type to stay down. 3 weeks later, I spot her SUV creeping by Tom's place, her face a mask of rage behind tinted windows. That night, Tom finds a note on his porch. Goats don't belong here. Then the complaints start anonymous, of course, whining about the goats being unsanitary or a threat to property values. Nobody buys it. At the next HOA meeting, Tom and I show up with vet records, a petition signed by nearly every neighbor, even testimonials from kids who love the goats. Linda bursts in, screaming about her neighborhood and how I've ruined it. The new president shuts her down. You're not on the board, Linda. You have no say. She points at me, shaking. This is your fault. I just shrug. You did this to yourself, Linda. I just let you fall. It doesn't end there. A week later, Tom's fence is cut, goats wandering into neighbors' yards. His cameras catch a blurry figure with bolt cutters. Linda's build, no question. Nate files an injunction. She's fined, ordered to stay away. The neighborhood turns her into a legend, Crazy Linda, the HOA queen dethroned by goats. A parody Facebook page, Linda's Goat Patrol, goes viral with daily goat pics and snarky captions. At her court hearing, she's a shell of herself, no allies, no clipboard, just a woman who lost everything to her own greed. Sitting on my porch now, watching the goats silhouetted against the sunset, kids feeding them carrots, neighbors laughing. It feels like we've got a real community again, not Linda's dictatorship. I raise my glass and whisper, "To you, Linda. May your legacy be goats." But deep down, I know she's out there, plotting, waiting for a chance to strike back. People like her don't let go. For now, though, I've won not just a fight, but a story that'll outlive us both. So what do you think? Was I too harsh, letting Linda dig her own grave? Or was this justice, pure and simple? Drop a comment. Tell me your take. Have you ever dealt with an HOA tyrant or a neighbor from hell? Let's hear your stories.